Hello everyone, welcome to another new video by Book Tales by Pritha. Today it is 5th of March 2020 and on today's video I will talk about 8 books that I read in February 2020. So in a way, February 2020 reading wise has been highly productive for me. So without further ado, let's begin today's video and let me talk to you about the books that I read last month in February. But before I go any forward, have you subscribed my channel Book Tales by Pritha? If you haven't subscribed yet, then please press the bell icon over there. And if you want to know more about Book Tales by Pritha, then definitely follow Book Tales by Pritha on Instagram. My Instagram handle is by the name Book Tales by Pritha. Book Tales by Pritha also has a Facebook group and a Facebook page. All the links are given in the description section below. Also, the books that I am mentioning, I have put the link of all the books in the description section below. Please, if you want to buy any of the books and read them, please buy it from the link given in the description section below. Because if you buy it from the link given in the description section, then I get a very small amount as a commission from Amazon affiliate link. And I have forgot to mention about my Twitter handle, which is @PrithaSharkar18, and there is also a blog by the name prithasnotebook.wordpress.com. In all these platforms, I talk about my life, I talk sometimes about career, and most importantly, I talk and discuss about different books that I have been reading over the years. Now, without further ado, let's begin today's video. Now, as I said that February 2020 had been highly productive month for me as I read 8 books. Also in these 8 books, I read 1 Bengali book, 1 Hindi book. I got 2 books for review purpose and 1 book I read through ebook platform. So the books that I want to talk to you, the first book that I want to talk in today's video is a Hindi book. This book is a national bestseller. It is by the name October Junction. This has been written by Divya Prakash Dubey. You know, I am reading a Hindi book, I think, after a gap of about 10 years, and I purposely selected a bestseller so that I don't get bored by reading another language, because I prefer to read books in English. But this book is such an amazing one. It has got usage of English words in the book, and this book by Divya Prakash Dubey was, I guess, published in 2018, and since then this book has been a bestseller. This book talks about 2 characters who meet over a period of 10 years. So you can say that the story begins in 2010 and it goes to 2020, and where the female character, when the story begins, is an aspiring author who is 2 years elder to the main protagonist, who is a successful startup entrepreneur. How their life takes place in this period of 10 years has been described in this book. What I liked about this book is about today's generation. This book is about today's youth, and in many ways, as a youth of India, I am sure if you read this book, you will relate to the protagonist that have been portrayed very well by the author. Also, October Junction, if you can read Hindi, should be read because it talks about life philosophies in different chapters. Those chapters are interesting, and those life philosophies makes you think when you read the book as a reader. I would highly recommend this book, October Junction by Divya Prakash Dubey. If you can read Hindi, please read this particular book. I'm sure you will not be disappointed with my recommendation. I have rated this book a 3.8 star out of 5 star, and I seriously like this book, and I'm looking forward to read more books by Divya Prakash Dubey. The next book that I want to talk is a Bengali book. Okay, now if you guys do not like to read Hindi and Bengali books, and if you can't read the language, then you can skip this part. Otherwise, if you like to know about books, then you can definitely watch this section. Now, this book is Laukik Olaukik by Sanjeev Chattopadhyay. Sanjeev Chattopadhyay is a very, very popular Bengali author. Now, in this particular book, as the name suggests, Lokik Alokik, so you can understand, it talks about the superstitions which are associated in different patterns of human life. The author has, this book is written in a diary format, and the author has told about his own personal experiences. Shojib Chattopadhyay now is above 90 years of age, if I'm not wrong, and this book begins with his early childhood. And if you, there are many stories that are written, small stories that are written, and what I liked about the book, at the end of each small story, the date has been mentioned. You must know about the tantrics, and many of us don't believe in tantric, superstition, black magic, etc. Now, in this particular book, I don't know how much it is true, how much it is false, but this author talks about it, and it is written in an extremely convincing manner, which I like about it. The language is very simple, very easy. See, my third language was Bengali, so if I can read this book, the full book, then I'm sure anybody who can, who has a hold over Bengali language, who can read properly, will definitely enjoy reading the book, and and I'm sure you will be engrossed when you are reading this book. So this is another book that I read in February 2020, and again I have rated this book 3.5 star out of 5 stars. The next two books that I would like to talk in this particular video are the books that I received for reviews. The first book that I would like to talk in this particular video is No Limits by Mukesh Bansal. Now, what first attracted me towards this book and I requested for a review for this particular book was the cover. This cover is, it has got a matte finish. The cover was very interesting. Secondly, I saw in the forward and the preface has been given by Rahul Dravid and Hrithik Roshan. So again, I was more and more interested to read this book. And thirdly, what got my attention was the blurb that was written at the back of the book, which says how ancient wisdom with modern science have been amalgamated together, and which, if coordinated in proper manner, can make your mind and body work in a manner that you desire to. Now, isn't that sound interesting? Well, this book by Mukesh Bansal, I will say this is a bit thick, and this is not for beginner level readers. Rather, if you are a mid-level reader, I'm sure you will like this book. This book is pretty simple, but you know, the things that has been told in the book is, if you think it in a practical way, they are doable. Plus, one more thing, that if you don't have the time to read this book, which is around 360 pages, every chapter has got, if you can see it over here, every chapter has got certain places which is highlighted like this. It talks about the different pointers which the author has described in great manner in the book. I will request everyone who is maybe a student or a working professional to read this book, because if you can control your mind and your body at the same point of time, it is said that you can achieve anything and everything. I don't know how much truth is there, but if you have little time, then do read this book. This book I have rated 3.5 out of 5 star, and again, this is a good piece of non-fiction which I would definitely suggest each one you to read. And I will also say that if you have little more time in your hand, give this book time, because there are certain things when you will read it, it will like go over your head, so you might need to read it twice or thrice. But you know what? The overall understanding and teaching of this book, if you can follow it, then you will definitely be a winner. The next book that I want to talk is again a book which I had received for review. The book is Startup Secrets from Ramayana. Now, in this particular book, you have the prime characters whose names have been taken and derived from Ramayana. So there is Ram, there is Lakshman, there is Kaikai, there is Sita, and these bunch of people, this Ram and Lakshman, help startups to grow. And the Sita over here, she is somebody who is always telling Ram what is right, what is wrong. So this book, what I liked about this book is how the concept of Ramayana has been put forth by the author in today's time age. And you know what, there are some economic terms that have, and business related words that have been used in the book. So if you are somebody who is into who has studied marketing or economics, I'm sure you will enjoy this book. This is a very small book. It is about it is only 132 pages, and I'm sure you will finish this book in 1 or 2 sittings. So if you have a little bit of time and if you want to read a book with a good concept, then you can definitely read Startup Secrets from Ramayana by Gill. Now, the next book that I would like to talk, this book was extremely hyped in JCB Prize for Literature, and it was one of the contenders for JCB Prize for Literature in 2019. Now, this book is There Is Gunpowder in the Air. It has been translated by Arunava Sinha and has been written by Manoranjan Vyapari. Now, this book talks about a jailbreak which happened during the 1970s when Naxal movement was extremely prevalent in Bengal, and it talks about the level of poverty that was there at that point of time among the prisoners who came to that particular jail. It talks about the jailer, it talks about the doctor, and most importantly, what I liked about the book, it talks about the extreme poverty condition which the prisoners were in, whether they were inside the jail or they were outside. Even many of the prisoners wanted to come back to the jail because they were getting meal of 2 times. Now, don't ask me what the meal was, because I don't think even if you have a pet at your home, you will give that kind of food to the pets to eat. That was what the prisoners were served. Now, this is an interesting story. This has got usage of Bengali words here and there, but again, that has been translated in English. And this book, you know what, this book, again, I will say you will finish in 1 or 2 sittings. This story is very thrilling. Every page is like a page turner. Not only it talks about, I will say, history, because it was during the 70s, the Bengal. I really liked the characters, as I told you, and I was not aware about that kind of poverty which has been mentioned by the author over in this particular book. This book I have rated a 3.5 out of 5 stars. The next book that I want to talk in this particular video is Fire's Fairy Tale by Nikita Gill. This book, oh my god, this book was referred time and again by melodramatic bookworm, who, if you are well versed of YouTubers in India who are into booktubing, then I'm sure you must know her name of melodramatic bookworm. And if you don't know, please go and see her channel. Now, Fire's Fairy Tale and Other Stories Stir Your Soul by Nikita Gill is again a book which I certainly liked because of its concept. It talks about the different fairy tales that we have read or we were told when we were child. Now, every fairy tale which we had read had a good character and a grey character. Now, in this particular book, Nikita Gill questions those grey characters, and she tries to justify why a particular character was a grey character. What would have happened to Cinderella's stepmother for her behavior being so rude to Cinderella? So these kind of explanations have been given wonderfully by Nikita Gill about each and every fairy tale that we have grown reading. And again, this book is supported by beautiful illustration. Beautiful illustration in every page. If you, not every page, but in most of the pages, it has got beautiful illustration. Now, the book is hardbound. And again, I definitely want, if you have a child at your home who is below 5 or 6 years, please read to them these kind of fairy tales, because these are modern interpretation of the fairy tales that we have grown hearing, and it definitely breaks those stereotypes. And again, this is the book that I have rated, I think 3.6 or 5 out of 5 stars, and I definitely recommend Fairs Fairy Tale to each and every parent who has a child below 5 or 6 years at their home. Please read to them these kind of books. Another book that I read was again an reinterpretation of Ramayana. This book was Bhumika, a story of Sita by Aditya Iyengar. Now, in this particular book, Aditya Iyengar talks about Sita if she hadn't been married to Ram. If Sita remained the princess of Mithila, how would Mithila be governed under Sita's governance or Bhumika's governance? This is again, I would not say that it is very good like the other retellings, but again, this is something the author has tried to break the stereotype and present to you a very powerful Sita, or rather a woman who is not dependent on her husband for his identity or for being the queen of certain land. So if you want to read something different with a new kind of concept, I hope that you will enjoy Bhumika. I have rated it a 3.3 star out of 5 star. Now another book, I will put the link in the description section and picture of the book over here. I don't have a physical copy of the book. The book in question is The Mahabharata Secret by Christopher C. Doyle. Now, The Mahabharata Secret talks about the King Ashok, Mahabharata, and some characters from present-day India. This book is about 500 pages. This book is extremely thrilling. Now, if I tell you, means these 3 things are linked by Christopher Doyle in an amazing manner, and this book is again like a page turner. I enjoyed reading every bit of the book and bringing 3 concepts set in 3 different eras. Imagine Ashoka's period, then there is Mahabharata period, and then there is present day India. These are 3 different time periods which is linked by a common thread. Now, to know that, you have to read this book. This book is a thriller, and it is a good thriller, I will say. And even if you are a beginner level reader, I'm sure you will enjoy reading The Mahabharata Secret by Christopher C. Doyle. I have rated this book 3.5 out of 5 stars. If you have read any of the books that I mentioned, then please mention in the comment section below. If you like my video, please hit the like button, and to see similar videos about books on career and what is going on in my personal life, you need to subscribe to my channel, Book Tales by Pritha. If you want to buy any of the books that I have mentioned in this video, then please see the link. Also, I have put the link of the phone, the stand, and other equipments that I use. So do buy it from, if you want to buy them, then from the link given in the description below, because if you buy it from those link given over there, then I get a small amount as my commission. And if you want to know more about Book Tales by Pritha, then you can definitely follow Book Tales by Pritha on Instagram by the same name. You can find Book Tales by Pritha on Facebook. There is a Facebook group as well as a Facebook page. I would earnestly request you to please join my Facebook group. I want active participants who like to read and who want to discuss about books and share their viewpoints. I also write blogs on books, and to read my blog, you need to follow me at prithasnotebook.wordpress.com. You can find me on Twitter. There is @PrithaSharkar18. And do let me know in the comment section what more you would like to watch on my channel, Book Tales by Pritha, because your comments matter to me the most. And please hit the like button, I'm repeating it, and hope to see you soon in my next video. Till then, tata and bye bye.